What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and I'm just going to get right into it. The Redskins, this free agency has really screwed up. Now, I had already taped this show initially on Sunday, and I had to retape it because on Monday, late Monday, the Redskins ended up signing Brian Quick, who for some reason I don't even understand why the hell we keep bringing this guy back. I mean, unless he has some hidden statistics that I did not see, or he did something that was so amazing that I didn't recognize, I just don't understand why we keep bringing Brian Quick back, especially when Kelvin Benjamin and Martavius Bryant is still out there in free agency. I mean, I didn't understand this move at all. Then to follow that up, they didn't sign Eric Flowers. I mean, this guy is basically a bust. Yeah, he's only 24, but his original team gave up on him early. They gave up on him early. Then he goes to Jacksonville. Now, I said we should get a guy from Jacksonville. The problem is that they went on and signed Eric Flowers instead of AJ Cann, which is totally so crazy. But not only that, they gave Eric Flowers $4 million for 1 year. For 1 year. I mean, I can't understand what the hell the Redskins are doing. First, the only move we made in free agency was bringing in Landon Collins. Now, I want to say this. I don't have an issue with Landon Collins, the player. I think he's a phenomenal player. I'm glad we signed him and everything. I will say that I do have an issue with the contract going into the second and third year, especially when there were other guys out there that you could have had that was probably of quality like this guy was, or you could have gotten two safeties. Now, again, like I said, I like Landon Collins. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's going to play well with us. I also will say this. He should not wear the number 21. I thought that number 21 was retired. I personally feel that that's a very, very sacred number, because one of my biggest worries is that if he does wear that 21 jersey and he doesn't play well, the backlash that will come from the fan base is going to be astronomical. I hope he wears the number 36. I hope they don't give him the number 21. That's just my opinion on that. Now, back to what I was talking about with this free agency thing when it comes to what we didn't do. Now, I put a link in the description below because I want y'all to understand I actually did a whole show dedicated to the fact of what the Redskins should do in free agency, what they should have done in free agency, and how they could have gotten more money, or how they could have gotten the most talent for the money that they had. And on top of that, situations where they should have been able to get guys in free agency that probably weren't going to be in the draft. So, with that being said, I'm just going to break down some of the guys that did sign other places, and the fact that we also didn't let certain guys go. Like, for one, number one, AJ Cann. AJ Cann, basically, he signed with Jacksonville for 3 years and $15 million. He has a $2.4 million cap hit. That's way less than what we paying Eric Flowers, who's a bum. That's basically what's happening. Now, in my show where I was talking about this, I actually said we should have signed this guy for 5 years, $25 million. But if this guy took 3 years and $15 million, that's actually way better than what I felt that we should have gave him for. And I mean, we didn't even try. Jesse James. I told people, tight ends is stuff that we need. We need to go ahead and get rid of Jordan Reed. I'm sorry. The potential thing is out the window. The only thing that when it comes to the word potential and Jordan Reed is that he has the potential to get hurt again. That's the only thing that I understand when it comes to the word potential and Jordan Reed. The potential to be hurt again and the potential to miss multiple games. That's the only thing I get with Jordan Reed. But Jesse James, he signed with Detroit for 4 years, $22.6 million, and he has a $2.2 million cap hit this year. $2.2 million. The years after that, until his contract ends, he will only have a cap hit of $5.6 million. CJ Uzomah, the guy from Cincinnati that was also on my list of guys that we should take, he signed for 3 years and $18 million. He has a $5.9 million cap hit, but guess what? He's only, for the rest of his contract, he's only going to count against the cap for about $9 million. I mean, not even, $9 million the following year. So until his contract is over. So that's actually pretty good for us. Adrian Amos, again, a safety that is basically coverage-wise a little bit better than Landon Collins. This guy signed with Green Bay for 4 years and $36 million. He has a $5.9 million cap hit, but after that, he only has a $9 million cap hit in subsequent years. So he still is going to, in subsequent years, he's still going to cost way less than Landon Collins. Brian Poole, he signed for 1 year and $3 million. I mean, I just can't believe some of these misses we had. Andrew Adams was another guy. He went to Detroit as well on a 1 year deal, and they didn't have the statistics for what he was going to be paid this year, but I'm pretty sure at 1 year he probably is going to get about $3 million as well. So I'm just so flabbergasted at what we set up here and did not do when training camp came around. I mean, when this free agency period came around, because I just don't understand some of these moves. I mean, you're talking about even the move where we set up here and traded for Case Keenum. Now, again, I felt that the Case Keenum trade was very stupid. I also felt that with the Case Keenum trade, that was something that nobody was really consulted on, because that was such a stupid move. It was such a stupid move. And there's no way you can convince me that it was a smart move. Not only that, the reason why I'm kind of frustrated about this as well is because we could have had Tyrod Taylor, people. Tyrod Taylor signed a 2-year, $11 million deal to be a backup for the Los Angeles Chargers. His cap hit this year is $3.5 million. When you think about that, we're going to pay Case Keenum $3.5 million this year. This is the same $3.5 million we could have been giving to Tyrod Taylor, who's probably a better fit in Jay Gruden's offense. So we set up here and blown it when it comes to Tyrod Taylor. Not only that, there was another guy out there that we could have had a chance to sign, and we didn't go after him, who was probably a better fit for Jay Gruden's offense as well. And that's Brett Hundley. Brett Hundley signed a 1 year deal for $1.9 million. Imagine that. Imagine having a guy on your team for $1.9 million, and even if he doesn't become the guy that you really want, at least you would have had something that was way cheaper, and you could have spent way more free agent money somewhere else. I mean, the fact that we're starting to get reports, and this is something that I hate. I'm going to say this to these fans who sit up here and say, well, if the Redskins did do something in free agency, you would be complaining. If the Redskins, and because they now didn't really do nothing, now y'all complaining. Let me explain something about free agency. Free agency is utilized to improve your team. You can't improve your team drafting everybody. Not only that, Eric Flowers cost us a 6th-round pick. We had 2 6th-round picks. Us signing Eric Flowers cost us the 6th-round pick. You know that the compensatory picks that we got, Eric Flowers just cost us one. A bum offensive lineman cost us a compensatory 6th-round pick. We lost that 6th-round pick because we signed Eric Flowers like dummies. So now all of a sudden we're sitting in a situation where, understand this draft coming up is going to be so top heavy. So top heavy. You're talking about this draft has like 15 really good offensive linemen in it this year. And they have a whole bunch of defense. But all that defense is going to be at the top of the draft. They're all going to go within the first maybe 3 or 4 rounds. And not only that, we're sitting in a situation where we actually need more help in more places. And we can't draft guys for every single place we got. We need tight end. We need tight ends. We need offensive linemen. We need wide receivers. We need another safety. We need another cornerback. We need a rush in. We need this stuff. Now, I will say this. I personally feel Jay Gruden is gone this year. This is Jay Gruden's final year in Washington. And if these moves don't say that, it proves it. Even the report that came out that said that Jay Gruden came out and said that he's not being consulted on any free agent moves. Jay Gruden, don't feel that you're alone in this, Jay Gruden, because guess what? They didn't consult Mike Shanahan when they sat up there and traded for Donovan McNabb. So this is something that Fan Snyder and Bruce Allen has done before. Not only that, we're sitting here in a situation where, again, Bruce Allen, there's no way you're telling me, I'm sorry, people, there's no way you're telling me that Eric Flowers was a choice. There's no way you're telling me that Brian Quick was a choice. These are 2 people that Bruce Allen brought on himself, and with the behest of a Fan Snyder. And it just bothers me so much that we're always the team sitting in the wrong place every year because we always pick up the wrong players. We always pick up the wrong guys, and we never ever play to our strengths. We never sit up there and make it a point of being the team that's on the right end of a deal. This is, again, you're talking about, there was a possibility that we could have had two different quarterbacks that fit Jay Gruden's offense. And not only that, again, like I said, Tyrod Taylor the following year, you're talking about the year that we're still not sure if Alex Smith is coming back. You're talking about Tyrod Taylor would have only cost us $5.5 million the next year. So now we're in a situation where we don't have true quality quarterbacks. I know some of y'all sitting out there saying, give Case Keenum a chance. We did. Denver did not want him. Denver felt the need to trade for Joe Flacco. Trade for Joe Flacco, people. They took on, in fact, the crazy thing about that is that Denver actually took on more debt because they're paying a majority of Case Keenum's contract. So for them to sit up there and take on that debt, plus sit up there and take on Joe Flacco's, I think it was like $20-something million contract. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. And to go deeper into this thing at where Jay Gruden isn't being consulted on player acquisitions and stuff like that, I personally, honestly feel that the next head coach coming in here to coach this team is going to be an Alabama coordinator. It's going to be one of those defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators that's going to come here. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. The Redskins are not drafting a quarterback in this draft. They're not. They're going to wait till that boy from Alabama comes out. If it's not him, they're going to either go with him or Jalen Hurts, who I think he just transferred to, I can't remember where he transferred to, but they're going to go from one of those guys. Our first round pick is either going to be Irv Smith or Jonah Williams. If it's not one of them, it's going to be somebody from Alabama, which, again, I just don't understand why we're stacking these guys. We've gone down this path before. We've gone down this path before. We used to have the DC Gators. We had the New York Jets. We had the DC Jets, the Washington Jets or whatever. And we also had The what was it? It was the Gators, the Jets, and we also had the Hurricanes. We had a bunch of Hurricanes on our team. Even though I have to admit those guys were good, but there were a few of them that weren't so good. You know, I think we had Rocky McIntosh who kept getting injured, and we also had the cornerback. I think his last name was Phillips. Or Buchanan, something like that. Philip Buchanan. It might have been Philip Buchanan. But we had a lot. We've gone down this road at where we stack players from a particular school or a particular team, and it hasn't panned out that much for us. Now the Hurricanes, that's a little different because a lot of those Hurricanes really did do something for us, but we had some that didn't. So with that being said, y'all, I just think that this was a stupid free agency period for the Washington Redskins. We still got Josh Norman on the team. We still got injury-prone Jordan Reed on the team. Vernon Davis is still with us. I mean, I like Vernon Davis, but he can't catch anymore. Y'all, tell me what y'all think. Tell me if y'all think that I'm overreacting with this. The Landon Collins deal. Tell me if y'all would have signed somebody else for cheaper. Like it, comment, subscribe, and other than that, this is your man John Fortune, and this is the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.